I have tried 7 different businesses: drop shipping, Amazon FBA, real estate. I tried it and most of them made me nothing or cost me money, meaning that I was in a negative. But this one right here that I'm about to show you, this one's the one that actually paid me and changed my life forever. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how it works and how to build this business from scratch. No experience needed. Any level of entrepreneurship, any level of income can start this business and flourish. It is a recession-proof business. Before we even get into it, let's get into my students' results right here. So this is one of my students right here. He said just hit 10,000 monthly recurring revenue in 30 days. I said, sheesh, that's major. Send a screenshot. He sent a screenshot, and this is how the screenshot looks. He had got 107 people logged into his business in 30 days, and this is not one-off. It was monthly recurring. So as you can see, it says new MRR, $10,000. And right here it says last 30 days. So now I'm about to break down to you exactly how this is done and like why the numbers make sense. How is everyday people able to do this with this specific business, right? So first things first, let's start off like the problem, right? What is a major problem in the world today? Majority of the population have bad credit. So that's why I call this the $100 million consumer problem. And this is where I typed it in Google. And you guys can kind of read it where it's like, yes, approximately 100 million people or more Americans have bad credit. So if they have bad credit, that means it's a problem. Guess what we have? The solution. So the solution would be you starting a credit company, which I will help you do that. Just keep watching this full video. I'm going to show you exactly how to build this business from scratch, right? Obviously, to run a business, you need clientele. That's where this comes in. We call it lead generation, right? So this right here is where I ran an ad, and you can see people in my DMs just DMing me, spamming me, credit. These are people that's intrigued and want the business because this ties back into the $100 million consumer problem. See, this is a mass market problem. This is a mass market business, which means you can make mass market money. So with all these people, this is opportunity, meaning opportunity to make income, opportunity to make revenue. And the beautiful thing about this is it's all virtual. Like, you don't got to go to an office. As you guys can see, like I'm in my home right now, and my business is still running right now as we speak. So now let's get into the making money portion of this, right? So these are a few payments that I got from this business, right? This is right here. I don't know the exact calculations, but I made $30,000 plus in a day from this business. I think that was pretty dope. But I just showed my students results as well. I'm not the only one making money, but this is a very lucrative business model simply because the supply and demand factor, like the demand is so high and it's never ending. Like the market constantly refreshes itself. Think about how many people turn 18 every single day. Think about how many people forget money on their credit card, or they forget a payment. Soon as they forget that one payment, boom, they automatically need credit repair, So think about how many people default on loans or get their car repossessed. Like this is a ongoing thing every day, and you just right there, you're the solution, and that means money is just constantly coming into your pocket. So that is how I'm able to have like big days like the one you see on the screen right here where I made 30, I think it's 32,000, but it was like 30,000. So obviously once you make the money, once people send you the money, you have to do the service for them, right? So it is 3 variations of fulfillment. Make sure you watch this full video because I'm going to go very in detail with this business, right? This portion of the video, I'm just kind of like walking you through it before we go into the deeper sectors. It is 3 variations of fulfillment, right? So people that join my program, as you guys know, I do teach a program of how to start this business, and I give people 3 options. You can either do the work yourself, or you can partner up with me and I will do the work for you, meaning you will collect the payment. People would think that you're doing it. I would be the back end, the silent partner, and you would deliver the good news. So that is one way that we can do it. Or I will hire you a team, meaning like if you already have a credit business but you want to scale, but you may just not know where to go or how to do it the proper way, I will hire you a team. So I basically work with like every level of experience. So now let's get into the nitty gritty. Obviously, if you're starting a business, we want to talk about getting your first client. What should you do to get your first client? This is what I do for my program and how I help my students get their first client. So since my students are learning from me, majority of them partner with me, meaning a lot of people want me to do the work on the back end. So what I would do is I will send them my results, right? Because you're not lying to the public, because I'm actually the one doing it. So me and you're kind of like business partners. So I provide my students with results. And then what they would do is I would tell them to make a post. The post will say something like this: so I've been working and mastering a new skill for the past couple of months, but did not want to bring it to the public until I had tons of results and testimonials. And then you would post my testimonials that I got, right? So now, because normally they choose the one where I do the work for them. So you're not lying to the public, you're a partner now, right? So whenever they will post that and then post my results, especially when you're very first starting out, you will get tons of DMs. You will get, guys, I'm telling you, this method works. This is 100% for the field. Every single person I've started a business with this have gotten their DMs flooded and gotten clients like this. Every single person is yet to fail, right? So I would do that. And then what I would do is I would start posting content around the results. And what I would do is I would look at other people, right? I would look at other people and then I will take their content. I will look at other people, then I will take their content and then I will remix it in my own way. But every single person doesn't want to create content. If you don't want to create content, that means you will have to go to paid advertising route, which is fine. I have students who never even shown their face online but make $50,000 a month. So that's perfectly fine as well. But transparently, you would have to put up more upfront capital because you have to pay for your advertisement. With organic content, it's free. Everyone got social media, everyone got a cell phone. I feel like that's, very beginner friendly take, right? But both, me personally, I do organic and paid. I do it all very well. So now we're about to talk about you collecting payments, right? So now we're about to talk about you collecting payments. So a very beginner friendly payment processor right here is Stripe. I feel like every single person that's new to the entrepreneurship world use this. You can go Stripe, you can go WAP, fan bases, things like that. But basically what Stripe is, it's like a merchant account that is going to allow you to send invoices because you are starting a business. Sometimes it is not professional, especially when you're starting out, to just say, hey, Zelle me, cash at me. That may create friction in the business. But with Stripe, it seems like it's a little bit more professional and people are more likely to close until you kind of like build your name out there. I'm gonna be real, my brand is to the point now where if I say Zelle me, they're gonna Zelle me. If I say Apple Pay me, they're gonna Apple Pay me because my results are so stamped. But in the very beginning, I had to send invoices. And invoices are also good for tax purposes and keeping track of data as well. This is how you will collect payments. You don't got to use Stripe. I'm just giving you guys, a very beginner friendly merchant account that you can use, that you can start up with today. If you guys want to go create a Stripe account right now, you can do that. So now we're about to be talking about the dispute process. So obviously now that you got your first client and you collected the money from the merchant account, now you got to dispute the negative items. So where I used to dispute my negative items and keep track of all my clients because you got to keep everything in a portal. Me personally, I use Dispute Fox. You can use Credit Repair Cloud. I know a lot of people like to use Credit Repair Cloud, but me personally, I just feel like Dispute Fox is just more, I like the interface better. I feel like it's more just easier to maneuver, right? So I use Dispute Fox. And transparently, right here, you are going to have to use laws and disputing methods to dispute the negative items off of your client's credit report, right? So it's multiple different methods out there. You don't got to use mine or lock in with my program or anything like that. You can find it from anywhere. You probably could find it on Google, or if you did enough YouTube University and did the research. But right here, as you see, I have it step by step. But like I said, all my students, they don't have to do it themselves. If you don't want to get into the nitty gritty and you want me to do all the work for you, if you feel like this is too complex, I will do it for you. But if you want to do it yourself, because some people want to know the ins and outs of the business and just be more well-rounded, that's up to you. Whichever route you choose is completely up to you. There is no right or wrong way. The only thing I would say is if I did it, you would just be saving more time. Let's say a client paid you and you're a beginner, or let's say a beginner or like immediate entry level, right? As you collect the funds, you will have to go manually dispute it, and that will take time. Versus if you was working with me, I already have a system running, I already have employees. You will collect the payment, you'll just send to me, and then you would just go on about your day. That's it, So it's like, it's no time involved. You can honestly work a full-time job and still run this business and make thousands of dollars. Like, I have people that work construction jobs that make $10,000 a month doing this. It's kind of just up to you. So now we're going to be talking about pricing and packaging. So this right here, because with running a business, you have to have offers, and there's no, right or wrong way. It all just depends on you. But this is one of my packages. This was like my best selling package right here. It's called the Gold package. And basically, this is where we remove the negative items off their credit report, and we help them build towards business, funding. Why did this package sell so well? So I have another package, that's the silver package. I have a silver package and I have a gold package. Why does the gold package sell way more than the silver package? Okay, so the silver package is just credit repair, right? So whenever you join my program, or whenever you should join any program, or you're learning about credit, you should be learning about building credit as well as credit repair. So whenever you know how to build someone's credit report, you can kind of become a consultant, because every single client doesn't need credit repair. Some people just have no credit history, and then they want a car, they want an apartment, they want business funding, so on and so forth. So you can help them build up their credit profile. So the gold package, the reason why this one sells and flies off the shelf so much is because it has a pain point, an end goal in mind. A lot of people buy this package because they want business funding, they want new cars, they want apartments. So it's like whenever they buy this package, not only is they getting credit repair, but they're learning how to build up their credit as well. So, and that's getting them towards that end goal, right? So it's like, and you already have like a pain point with that. So it's already a desired end goal with this package. That's why it sells so fast. If it's just credit repair, it may not sell as fast, just because a lot of people don't know why they want their credit fixed. They just, and that's just sales in general. Always have a pain point, a pain point in sales. It makes the close easier. So now let's talk about also back to the packaging. Like I was saying, like your packaging kind of depends on you, right? You can copy this package word for word, verbatim. You can even steal this flyer. I generally wouldn't care, right? Your package is up to you and your skill set, right? And where you learn from. So now let's talk about high ticket versus low ticket. So it's different ways to collect payments and things like that, but now we got to talk about how you're charging the client. So for me, for my gold package, so I do high ticket and low ticket, right? So for my affiliate channel, I run it high ticket because I have a Telegram channel with over 1,000+ members that's dedicated to sending me clients. I make them sell the high ticket, so they selling 500. I'm about to say 500,000, but they selling $500 and above. And I do my ads for the low ticket. That's kind of like how I run my operation. Just because me personally, I just like the MRR stacking up, right? But you don't got to run it the way I'm running it. You can do either high ticket or low ticket. But let's say you're doing high ticket. That means people are paying you, let's say $500 to $1,000 or so. And you may get less clients, but you're getting, a lot more PIFs. PIF stands for paid in full, a lot more paid in fulls. Well, low ticket is more of a volume game. You're getting a lot of people in the door. So it's no right or wrong way. But let's say you get 100 people for $97, that's $10,000 a month. Me personally, in my low ticket community, I have 300 members. You can do the math on that. So it's one of those type of scenarios, like there's no right or wrong way. But it's like also you can get 10 clients at $1,000 and make 10,000. You can get 30 clients at $1,000, which is way less than 300. It just depends on you and your liking and your skill set. So now let's talk about the credit monitoring. So if you guys watch some of my previous YouTube videos, you know that I talked about once you get this sale, you're going to get this sale. So every single person that get credit fixed or come through different credit repair, they got to sign up for something called credit monitoring. It's basically like a software where it allows you to, see someone's like accurate credit report so you can do the proper disputes. And now we're in an age now where all these softwares, they want you to bring their clients to them. So who's the targets, right? They want to find credit repair companies to bring their credit clients to them. So guess what they're willing to do? They're willing to pay you a referral/affiliate bag to bring their clients to them. Me personally, off credit monitoring right now, I'm probably making an extra $4,500 a month right now. If you guys watch my YouTube videos, I live in a penthouse right now. That covers my whole penthouse, so I'm basically living for free. So that's pretty dope, But my goal with the credit monitoring is I want to get that to 10,000 plus a month. Obviously, that's got to come with volume and clients and things like that. I want to get to $10,000 a month, so that way it just pays for my every month like leisure, and like it can be just my F up money, So that's how I would do it. And that's a beautiful thing about this business is every single person, it's not like no ifs, ands, buts about it. They got to do this, so it's free money. But this is a platform. This is one of the platforms I use. I honestly, I got an account with Identity IQ. I got my free score now, and I got Smart Credit. So right now I'm currently with Smart Credit. That's the one I'm pushing right now. But it kind of just, depends on you and your preference. So now let's talk about tools you will need, right? You will need Go High Level, and you will need Slack. right? Why would you need these two apps? So this is why I use for Go High Level, right? Go High Level is good for like tracking and keeping up with all the clients, and it's also good for messaging the clients through there, so you don't gotta necessarily give out your personal number. Or let's say while you're scaling and you want to like hire VAs and assistants and things like that, you can make your VA a staff on Go High Level, and then they're gonna be able to operate everything and be able to message people back and things like that. And then you're gonna be able to tell which assistant did what. You're gonna be like, okay, this person said this, and you can be able to pinpoint the exact, because everyone has their own separate logins, and you're gonna be able to read whatever your assistant is saying to. It's like they're like customer service. You're gonna be able to read, so it's not like, let's say you sending someone their actual personal phone number, right? Like, by example, let's say a client hits you up and you like talk to your assistant, and then you don't know what your assistant is telling them. But with Go High Level, you know exactly what they're saying. You can read the chats in live time, and then it's just good for keeping track of everything. So I use Slack. The reason I use Slack is because I have employees. I put all my employees under one roof in Slack, and it's just good to keep up with updates. It's like everything has its own individual tab where it has credit repair fulfillment, credit repair results, end of the day sales, end of the day report setter, business funding clients, so on and so forth. Everything is just tracked. So now we're going to talk about how to scale this business. So obviously you can't just really do it yourself. As far as like scaling, you probably can get it to 20K, 30K, maybe even 40, 50 grand a month by yourself. But to actually scale and to make it where it's less tedious on you, you're gonna want to hire VAs, right? So this is the website right here, onlinejobs.ph. This is where I hire my VAs at. This is where I'll be finding the best talent, things like that, and then you just hire them. Because imagine you making $30,000 a month, but then you're doing everything yourself. And now you feeling like overwhelmed, overworked. But all you gotta do is delegate some of that money to a couple employees, and now your business is completely hands off. Now you could just go on and live your everyday life, and you could just think about bigger things. You're now the brains of the operation, and you have successfully bought your time back. You'll have a business running and flourishing, and you can sit back and chill and just think of like what's next and what's to come. So that's pretty much how you build this business from scratch, man. Like I said, I definitely do teach people how to do this at a high level. I have tons of students, tons of testimonials. One of my students just bought a C8, and like a couple of my students is making $50,000 a month, 100 grand a month, 20,000, 10,000. I have students on every single, skill level and things like that. But I'm gonna put the link in the description below to see if this is a right fit for you. I will walk you, I will hold your hand throughout the whole process. And yeah, so make sure you click the link below and then just apply to work with me. I appreciate you guys for watching. See you guys at the top, because the bottom is just not an option. I'm going.